You've probably felt it sometimes, like everything's going against you. It feels as if every corner you turn, something is ready to knock you down. Sickness, confusion, sorrow, you name it. It's almost like you're being targeted. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not just a string of bad luck. You're in a battle, but not with people or everyday problems. You're up against something much bigger. This battle is against forces we can't see with our eyes. That's right, spiritual forces. It sounds a bit out there, but it's all there in the Bible. Ephesians 6:12 says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." That's your real enemy, the powers of darkness. Now, knowing who you're fighting is crucial. It's easy to blame our neighbors, co-workers, or even family for our troubles, but they're not the ones you're truly battling. It's those spiritual entities that Ephesians talks about. Understanding this is the first step to winning your battles. There's good news though. You have access to a secret weapon, a mystery that can shield you and give you the upper hand in these battles. This mystery isn't something complicated. It's a truth revealed through God's Word meant to empower and protect you. This message I'm sharing isn't just a pep talk. It's about revealing that mystery to you, the key to standing strong against these unseen enemies. And once you grasp it, believe me, no enemy will ever prevail against you. You'll be a force to be reckoned with, a real terror to the kingdom of darkness. So what's this great mystery? It's all about knowing who you are and what you're capable of as a follower of Christ. You're not just anyone. You're a child of God, created in His image, destined for great things. When you really know this, nothing can truly defeat you. Remember the story in the Bible, John 10:10, where it says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy." That's the enemy's mission. But that's not the end of your story. You have a role and defense that changes everything. The victory is already yours because of what Jesus did. He fought the ultimate battle and won. By His sacrifice, Jesus took back the key from death and emerged victorious. This victory is what you inherit by being in Christ. Now, think about this. God lives in you. You are God's temple. The Creator of the universe resides in you. With God on your side, who or what can stand against you? Knowing God and His promises to you is your greatest weapon. It's the mystery that, once you understand, will set you free from every attack, every struggle, every chain that tries to hold you back. Keep these truths in your heart. You're fighting from a place of victory, not for victory. Every battle has been won by God before it even starts. That's the mystery that will change your life forever. Let's explore how you can apply this to your everyday battles and truly live free. Let's continue our conversation about the powerful spiritual weapons God has given you. Remember, these aren't just concepts. They are real, divine tools you can use in your everyday life to stand firm against any spiritual attack. The shield of faith is another crucial piece of this armor. Ephesians 6:16 says, "In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." Faith is your trust and belief in God's promises. When you hold on to your faith, it can block any negative thoughts or doubts that the enemy tries to throw at you. It's like a protective barrier that keeps you safe from harm. Next is the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Ephesians 6:17 says, "Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God." The Bible is your sword. Knowing Scripture and using it in your life helps you fight back against the enemy's lies. When Jesus was tempted by the devil, he responded with Scripture. You can do the same. The Word of God is powerful and can cut through any deception or attack. Prayer is also a key weapon. Ephesians 6:18 tells us, "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests." Prayer connects you directly to God. It's how you communicate with Him, seek guidance, and ask for protection. When you pray, you invite God's power into your situation. Never underestimate the power of consistent, heartfelt prayer. The belt of truth is foundational. Ephesians 6:14 says, "Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist." Truth holds everything together. Being truthful and living a life based on God's truth keeps you grounded. Lies and deceit weaken your defense, but truth strengthens you and keeps you secure. The breastplate of righteousness mentioned in Ephesians 6:14 is vital. With the breastplate of righteousness in place means living according to God's ways and standards. Righteousness protects your heart from the enemy's attacks. When you live a life that pleases God, you create a barrier that the enemy cannot easily penetrate. Your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace is another part of the armor. Ephesians 6:15 says, "And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace." This means being ready to share God's peace and good news with others. It also means you stand firm and are not easily shaken because you walk in the peace that God provides. Understanding these weapons and wearing the full armor of God prepares you for any spiritual battle. It's not just about defense. It's also about being proactive in your faith. Share the gospel, live righteously, stay truthful, hold on to your faith, know the word, and pray constantly. Sometimes it's easy to forget that these spiritual battles are happening, but always remember, you are not alone. God has equipped you with everything you need to stand strong. You don't have to cower or be afraid. Instead, stand tall, knowing that God's power is working through you. Your journey as a Christian is filled with God's promises and His divine protection. Embrace these truths and make them a part of your daily life. When challenges come, and they will, you are prepared and equipped to handle them. Take up your armor every day. Remind yourself of these powerful spiritual weapons. You have the strength and power from God to overcome any enemy. Stand firm, trust in His provision, and watch as you walk in victory. Let's continue to explore these powerful spiritual weapons and how you can use them in your everyday life. Remember, it's all about applying what God has provided for you. First, let's revisit the shield of faith. To truly wield this shield, you must believe deeply in God's promises. When you face doubts about your salvation or God's ability to protect you, remind yourself that you are now in Christ. Your faith is what keeps fear at bay. Think about David facing Goliath. He didn't need Saul's armor. He trusted in God's protection. You too can trust that your faith will shield you from any attack. Next, there's the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. This is your offensive weapon. Whatever challenges you face, speak God's word over them. If you're battling illness, declare that God is your healer. If you're struggling financially, proclaim that God will provide for you. The Bible is full of promises that you can claim. By declaring these truths, you push back against the enemy's lies. Let me say this again. Don't forget about the power of prayer. Listen, prayer is your direct line to God. When you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of complaining or giving in to fear, talk to God. Tell Him about your struggles and ask for His help. Prayer isn't just about asking for things. It's about building a relationship with God. As you pray, you'll find peace and strength to face any challenge. Many Christians overlook the importance of these spiritual practices. They might go to church on Sundays, but forget to apply these principles throughout the week. Don't fall into that trap. Make a habit of reading the Bible, praying, and speaking God's promises over your life. These practices will strengthen your faith and keep you grounded. Living righteously is also a key part of this spiritual armor. When you live according to God's ways, you protect yourself from the enemy's attacks. Righteousness is like a breastplate guarding your heart. Strive to align your actions with God's commandments. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but it does mean you should aim to live a life that honors God. Finally, remember to share the gospel with others. This isn't just about converting people. It's about spreading God's love and truth. When you share the good news, you reinforce your own faith and bring light into the world. God promises to protect those who do His work, so don't be afraid to speak up about your faith. By embracing these spiritual weapons, faith, God's word, prayer, righteousness, and evangelism, you equip yourself to face any challenge. Trust in God's provision, and you will walk in victory.